family. So I know this is YouTube. So just welcome all my guests. Just building this. So we're gonna go ahead and begin. My name is Dwayne Taylor, aka Coach. You know, this channel is about changing your life. It's about those who are ready to say yes to change their life. Those who are ready to look inward. They're ready to stop blaming themselves. I mean, they're ready to stop blaming the world and everybody else in it. You know, they're willing to look in the mirror and take responsibility for themselves. So that's what this channel is all about. It's about changing our perception. It's about challenging ourselves to be what we were designed to be, to go inward and to find that strength to be able to do that. Because I realize that's what this journey is all about. I realize you come to a place where you begin to share your knowledge and your wisdom as you go about this journey, because that's how it works. Oh, what's up, Kingston? So I'm gonna start doing more on YouTube and then saving it on Facebook until I get that other account. But yeah, so that's what this channel is all about. This channel is about, it's about bringing positivity to the world. It's about bringing light to a dark place. It's about education, financial literacy, spiritual literacy, mental literacy, health literacy. It's about building wealth on all levels. So let me get into my topic, assets and liabilities. So let's break it down on all levels. Let's take it from the lowest level first, which is this earthly plane, right? Because you are a spirit, you possess a soul, you live in this thing called the physical body. So in this world that we live in, you know, we're going to be challenging people's mindsets when it comes to money, especially because a lot of people are in bondage to money, and you can hear it the way they speak about it. And when you know what money really represents, you're free to speak about it because it no longer uh, triggers you in certain ways, whether fear of not having enough or cockiness because you got it, whatever it may be. You know, so there's a lot of misconceptions around money. So you're going to be challenged on this channel to change your perception, see how you really look at money and what it is. Thank you, King. See, brother, I'm telling you, man, that's why I need you, man. Man, this is why I love what I do. Hopefully, this might be a longer video than normal because this is going to be YouTube. So, um, this thing called money, right? This stuff called cash or currency, right? First of all, you got to understand that money is important. Okay, we have to place it in its proper category, right? Money is very important in life. I don't care what nobody says. Having money, having the ability to get the things that you need is very important, and you should have an abundance of it. There should never be a place of lack in your life when it comes to uh, this stuff called money or paper currency. You know what? After you come to the knowledge of understanding who you are and your worth, you realize that there is no way there should be any type of limitation to uh, the cash flow that you can. What a bad relationship. There's no amount of money that you can be attached that can be attached to your value. When you come into the knowledge of yourself, you determine your paycheck, right? And there will be systems that were either created or that you can connect to or that you can create yourself to create a cash flow of whatever you desire. Because when you understand who you are, you determine your paycheck, right? So we need to put this stuff called money in its proper place. It's very important. You know, those people, look, there's some scripture that says a false balance is an abomination. You know, those people that say money is evil, they're wrong. The people that are greedy for money, they're wrong. You know, the people that say, oh, love, oh, you just need love, that's a lie. You need money. Look, you got to understand, put it in its proper place. It's just like a tool. You can say, "Oh yeah, love is all you need." No, that's not true. I can build a house, right? And I can say, "Oh, all you need is a rock to build the house." Yeah, it'd be better if you had a hammer. It'd be better if you had more of the proper tools. But you have this rock. This rock will help you build it, even though you might bang your hands and cut your fingers and go through hell building it. You can build it. Yeah, you can. You can. You can go through this life lacking cash flow and you suffer for it. Your family suffers for it. I don't care what nobody says because when a $500 emergency comes up and you don't have it, that's an issue. And I know from being in this organization long enough to know that most people are a paycheck away from bankruptcy. I mean, that was me. That was the life I lived. I'm getting out of that life, right? I'm working my way out. I'm not totally out yet. Hold on, let me close the door. Right? But I'm working my way out. I'm getting out, right? So we need to check our mindset. Let me keep going. Asset and liability. Okay, so let's look at it credit. Okay, we know in this language that they teach where they say a liability is something that's taken away from you and has no value. Right? Right? And they say uh, an asset is something that adds value, that gives life or adds to your life. Right? Okay. So by definition of those assets and liabilities, well, if you go to the IRS website, this is not me, this is their language. The IRS said that the biggest liability on their books are fiat currency notes, Federal Reserve notes. And can you hear me now? That better? Now, hopefully that's better. So Federal Reserve notes. So they say on their books, that's their biggest liability. So we go to work every day for the liability. Well, then on the other side, and when the not go out right, hold on. Can you hear me? Is that better, Donovan? So hopefully this is better. So we know that an asset is something that adds value. So being in this industry and being in the profession that I'm in, I've come to learn that gold is real money, meaning that gold is a true asset, that it has value. It holds true value. It contains true wealth. So, based on those two definitions of liability and assets, and if we're talking about building wealth, well, then we know that the wealthy say you need to have assets and not liabilities. So, based on that knowledge, then we know that fiat currency is a liability and gold is an asset. So, you need to have something as an asset in your life in this physical realm, right? Why? Because you live on this earth. You need to have something established while you're on this earth because you are a part of this physical planet. Because with the assets and the liabilities, you get to protect yourself, and at the same time, you get to bless others, right? Because you can take the fiat currency that you create. and generate and go do the things that you desire to do to help the causes you desire to help the people build the homes or do whatever it is you want to do. You know, people are always mad at people who go after a dream because think about it. You know, I'm in a profession where I get to go travel all around the world to meet people. And don't you think it's better to have a relationship where you could just be somewhere in the world and you can call that person and say, "Hey, I'm at this location. Can you come out?" And they are debt free, financially free, time free, and they can literally hop on that plane and come meet you, right? Like that's the lifestyle I'm building with people that have the same mindset that want to build like that because they understand the difference between assets and liabilities, right? We can take it to the next level, the mental plane. What kind of mental assets do you have and what type of mental liabilities do you have, right? What are your mental assets? Are you feeding yourself? Are you reading? Are you listening? Are you learning to hear that inner voice? Or are you just listening to everybody else? Are you just watching TV and all this stuff that they keep feeding you? What are your assets and your liabilities even when it comes to your mental state? What type of programs are you listening to? Are you always listening to programs that promote fear? And then you wonder why you're always attracting things that are fearful in your life because you have to realize your mental plane is where everything is created because we're going in reverse order. The earthly plane is the effect. We got to take it back to the cause, right? So, what's the cause? The cause is your mental plane. What are the assets that you have that's feeding your mental plane? What are the liabilities that are feeding your mental plane? Because here's what I believe. I believe like how you can attach the mental to the physical with the money. I truly believe when you understand your mental game and you control your mental game, then you should definitely be able to control your money game. I'll put it to you like this. If there was 100 people on let's say, I don't know, somewhere, an island or whatever, and you had 5 people on that island that knew how to, the way they knew how to think, they understood how the thinking process worked, those 5 people would create ideas that would use the labor of the 95, and the 5 would be the ones that are paid while the 95 work. Why? Because they understand the assets of their understanding their mental game. They understand the asset of feeding their mind positive information, listening to positive information over and over and over again. Why? Because we understand on this mental plane that everything is frequency, sound, and vibration. And that's a law. Whether you want to believe that or not, it's a law. And see, that's the first problem. A lot of times people don't want to believe the truth. And the truth is the truth. A law is a law. Everything has been scientifically proven, right? That everything is a vibration. Everything. It's broken down. So when you're having these thoughts, when you're watching these shows and you're listening to these things, these vibrations, that's what you begin to resonate because you got to realize this human body is a big old antenna. It's a transmitter receiver type of thing. I think Roxy's out here. Okay. It's got thrown off track. Um yeah, so it's a mental thing. It's a mental game. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand your 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 mental assets and your mental liabilities. What are you doing? What are you feeding your mindset? Right? What are you feeding your mindset? How are you growing? How are are you looking at those areas in your life when you keep seeing the same things over and over and over and over in your life? That's you, brother. That ain't nobody else but you. Whoever this speaks to, wherever this transmission goes, it's you. You are the cause and the effect of your life. And that's what you have to come to realize and know. And that's what people don't want to speak because they're afraid, because that's when you got to accept responsibility. And people don't want to accept responsibility. Right? Spiritual plane. Where are your assets spiritually? Do you still see through the eye of polarity, right? Do you still see through division, separation, or do you now see through the eye of oneness? How do you understand the spiritual realm? Because if you understand the spiritual realm in a place of duality, I would challenge to say that you still don't understand. Because until you understand oneness, you're in confusion. Because that's what polarity is. Duality is confusion, right? So until we get to oneness on that spiritual plane, is it, right? So what are your spiritual assets? What are your assets? Well, we all know we come from the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that there is no separation. There is only oneness. There never will be. It's impossible to be. You can't be. There's only oneness. You cannot be separated from anything. That's all that exists. You got to think about it. Think about how you create. How do you think the creator creates? You're only an image. You're a likeness. Remember, same in quality, but not in quantity. Right? There's relative truth and then there's absolute truth. And you got to know which one you're working with. So hey, look. So this is for that person that wants to be free, that's ready to change, that wants to do something different. Check your assets and your liabilities. So if you go down and you look at your asset column and your liability column, write them down. And if your liabilities outweigh your assets, then it's time to change. If you're ready. It's a challenge. You got to look at yourself in the mirror. You got to face all those demons. And you got to be prepared to look at them, accept them for what they are and what they've been and what they've caused in your life. And you got to be okay with that. And you just got to come to that place and be okay. So check your assets, check your liabilities. We have a group, my business partners on the line, Mr. Donovan Yarbrough, it's called the Kingsman Group. We teach wealth building principles, financial literacy, mental martial arts. It's so funny. I can look back over my life now. I can see segments of my life where it was foretold of positions I would be in. I remember having this one. I was a massage therapist who I had a client who was a millionaire, but his his mentors were billionaires, right? So I look at a portion of my life now where I'm getting myself, I'm that millionaire now, and I've just been surrounded by billionaire mentors, right? I remember going through Taekwondo and becoming a black belt, kind of like on an accelerated track. But I never really went through Taekwondo after that. I just got a brief glimpse. Why? Because now I understand that I'm supposed to be an instructor, but it's in the mental martial arts instead of the physical martial arts. So check your assets and your liabilities. So if you want to get with us, reach out to me. Um, Hit me on Facebook, Instagram at Perception, PERSEPSHUN. Hit me on Facebook, Dwayne Taylor. Or hit me down here on YouTube. I'll get back with you. Or you can go to www.arealmoneysystem.com. Click on that link, and that'll connect you to me. If somebody shares this video with you, get back with them. I shouldn't even say my own link, but maybe I can go back in and erase it. Donovan can show me how to do that. But ho, I'm out. It's 20 minutes to my Kingsmen. Salute to my gold gladiators. Au to the tribe. One to them knowledge seekers. Keep seeking. Flow, love, shine, be. Toast to that good life. Look, I always stop a second and talk about that good life because you really have to begin to see a good life in your mindset. You have to say to yourself that all things lead to your success, wealth, and your happiness. That you see only a good life, that nothing but good happens for you, that mercy and goodness are in hot pursuit of you every day. And you have to do this over and over and over. Why? Because you're bombarded with negativity 24/7. Therefore, you have to keep saying it. And then you have to feel it as well. Not only say it, see it, feel it as well. So those three things, say, see, and feel it. All three of those things. It takes all three of those to complete the connection to get that thing going so it begins to expand. If you just seeing it and saying it and ain't feeling it, it ain't working. If you just seeing it and feeling it but not saying it, it ain't working. You gotta say all three. That completes it. Because then that thing gets to spinning, and then it begins to expand, and it consume wherever it goes, it spreads. You gotta think about it like this. Imagine you surrounded by darkness, and you're this little tiny light. But as you begin to expand, your circumference expands more, and it dissipates the darkness more and more and more and more and more, and you begin to know more and understand more, and you know more, and now you're looking at things that people don't think you crazy because you're understanding something that most people don't understand, and you just got to keep rocking with it because you know what you know. What you know is what you know. That's what happens. But hey, if you're ready for that, if you're ready to really change your life, I challenge you to come into the Kingsman. Women are welcome. That's just the title because Kingsman represents something. It represents a personality. It represents a mindset. It represents a mindset, a way of living, a way to see life. Talking about that good life. Be that person that toasts to that good life. Be the one that's able to celebrate. Be the one that's able to celebrate with people, to be a blessing, to be blessed, to be a blessing. I look forward to that day. I look forward to the day when I just have enough cash flow where I can just freely spend, freely bless people. What? Who wouldn't? I don't know. I think something's wrong with you if you don't want to do that. But see, when you have double vision, it's about you. But when you got oneness, it becomes others. But everybody's on their journey, so I'm not condemning nobody. I'm just asking for, are you ready to change? Because I came to a place in my life, Mr. Yarbo came to a place in his life where we said we were ready to change, and we made that step. So we're still in process, but we got the map. We've got leaders in front of us, and they're showing us the way because we right behind them. So we're leading you to a good place. So if you're ready to change your life, come get with us. Assets and liabilities. This is Dwayne Taylor, aka Coach. One.